Well, it's 8:30 at night, and I'm gonna make a series of videos like everyone else on my attempt to put together this solar power system here. And I've been working on it now, learning the process. I'm not an expert. I've watched YouTube. I've read all the literature that comes from the companies, and I'm at a place now where I'm starting to put it together. And I had my first day with a little small scale concept trial, and it failed miserably. Although I learned a lot of information from that one little test, and I'm at the point now where I need to go back and research the answer to that. So at least I know what the question is. But let me show you what happened. Quick overview as well. So here I built this custom battery cabinet there. I'm going to have 4 per shelf. They're each 100 amp hour, 12 volt batteries. I have wired for 48 volts, which is what my inverters can handle. And I'm going to have, some expansion. Right now I have 12. There's 4 right there. I have some expansion. I can put some up there at the top as well, but it's heavy duty. Right here, I'm going to have a battery bus bar. I was told by Outback customer service that if each battery series here, so that would be 4 in series, and then there would be 4 up here in parallel. Instead of doing one line from plus to plus to plus to negative, 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 to do one like a spider and one line to each shelf, if you will, a positive and a negative. And that, he said, would allow me to evenly charge the batteries. And he said that if you would start off here and work your way down, the ones at the bottom would have a shorter lifespan. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt. It's a little bit more money with the 4 odd cable there, but it's probably going to be worth it. Those batteries are at least 150 a piece. Okay, so here's your battery bus bar, and then it's going to go into a switch, which one wire comes up from here, and that allows me to turn off the battery bank. And then it goes up into this main bus bar here. And what I got going on here is another capacitor bank here that comes down to the main bus bar. And then from the bus bar, I'll have 4 different inverters that are going to be mounted up here. And they'll have their individual wires that come off of here into each one of those inverters. Now, what you got here, what's mounted on, is I have a piece of plywood in the back, which I stained the outsides here and put some trim work. And then I have some 2x4s that I've used some heavy-duty lag screws to mount all this. And then on top of this, I'm going to have a template. You can see here some finished wood with the boxes cut out, and then some trim pieces there. They're going to go around all those boxes, and then the inverters will mount on top of that. And just for a little show, there'll be, where this 2x4 is, there'll be some open space in between the 2 trim pieces, and I'll have like a little neon light in there. That's just for show, conversation, but that's not important at this point, after today especially. But my problem is what I did with today with a concept is I went ahead and did one set of 4 batteries, 48 volts, into my bus bar. I had a little battery switch here, and then that went on up through the bus bar here and into the capacitor bank. You can't see it, but there's 12 Maxwell ultra capacitors, 2.7 volt, 3000 farad. I think if you have 12 of them, you divide 3000 by 12, so that makes 250 farad capacitance there. And what I didn't know was when you're charging a ultra capacitor, it's almost like shorting out your system. It draws that much power all at once. And what ended up happening was I had this negative bus bar mounted up here, and there was smoke coming from here, and the plastic around this metal piece started to melt. And so I immediately went to my switch box right here and tried to turn that off, and it was stuck. The plastic, well, not the plastic, but inside the switch here, the copper had, can you see that? Had welded itself to the terminal there. And so this plastic switch wasn't turning. So when I ended up turning it, it broke the middle piece there. So now it turns, but there's no effect. I'm going to have to get a new one of these. And after that, it was obviously still turned on. So when I tried to connect after, taking it down, that you did see in that little amp meter there, or voltmeter, you did see it go up to about 50 volts. No, it was 30 volts. So it was working. And I had to went ahead and discharged those capacitors with this big piece of steel right there, which worked fine as well. Got really hot. These, let's see here, this jumper cable, you can see where it kind of ate through a little bit where I was touching it. Very, very dangerous. Kind of shook me up a little bit. It's a lot of very powerful light. But yeah, and then when I went to try it again, just to kind of keep going with it, you can see here where when I touched that battery cable, because the switch was still turned on right there because it was welded shut, this was shorting out again. You can see where it just kind of melted that copper. It's tin plated copper. And also right there, if I show you there, you can see where it kind of started to melt that little terminal as well. So I just wanted to document this for my scientific notes. Kind of feel like a mad scientist. Hopefully, it's not too dangerous for me. But what else I got going on here? I'm gonna have solar coming down from here, the solar from the arrays on the roof, and we'll come down this little channel here and into this. I'll have some breakers there. Here are my breakers here. So that's just basically turn off and on. Before it goes to the charge controller, I'm gonna have 4 Flex 80 controllers right there, and so that'll be all behind that finished piece. So you won't see any wires. All these wires, all that work will be behind that, and all you'll see is these boxes here, and then you'll have the inverter sticking on the top there, and you have the charge controller sticking on the top here. Next door to it, in this section, I'm going to have my AC in, my AC out. I'm going to have my switch right there to bypass the whole system, and I'll also have the Mate 3 that's going to be mounted right there with the hub. So that's the plan. It seems sound. I talked to Outback customer. They seem to understand what I was trying to say. So I'll keep y'all posted, and just for prosperity's sake, I suppose. And if you have any comments that can help me out, probably when I post this, I'll probably be all done. So we'll see. Hopefully done. That'd be great. All right. Take care.